It wasn't pretty, but come round one, I guess you would take a win anyway. You can get it, and to come away with the 4 points, you'd be happy.
Well, you're always happy when you get 4 points. Look, it wasn't our best day. Clearly it was a pretty scrappy. Wouldn't have been a great game to watch. So I thought our effort was pretty good, and I thought we showed a bit of character in the second half when, clearly things weren't going sort of how we wanted them to. We hung in there and worked pretty hard, and got away with a win.
Your expectations are probably different in round one, come midway through the season and late in the season. What do you hope to see in a round one performance, and how close did you get to that today?
You want to see some stuff that you've obviously practiced. So, a few of those things, there was bits that we got right, but we probably never got all of it right all at once, if that makes sense. So, but I think there's a lot to take out. I thought, Caleb Datson in his first game was a real shining light for us. Even in the first half, he was probably the one that looked composed and used the ball well. And there was a couple of, we had a lot of young players, obviously. Half a dozen that probably got played less than 5 games. So they would have learned a lot, and they'll get better.
Backline looked really good, and it just looks like Chad Pearson and Noah Strom and the guys back there who had a full season last year. They look like they're going to be ready to take another step forward this year.
Yeah, look, I thought they were all pretty solid down there, to be honest. I thought Blaine was pretty good. Mascos and McIntosh obviously experienced, and Spooner and Dent, played their role. So they'll get better as they play together, obviously. Some of them have played a fair bit and others are quite young. So I thought we were pretty solid in the back end. I think we rebounded, 32 or 30-ish out of 40 inside 50s. But, clearly we probably didn't move the ball anywhere, near how we wanted to. We knew that they'd just fold back, but unfortunately we just kept kicking it to them and they score off turnover. So that's good learnings for us, and we'll show the group and work on getting better.
Jason Mascos, he had a slow start last year, but as we talked about throughout the year, last year from the second half of the year, he was probably the best small defender in the competition. And big job today on George Hampson, who's a match winner at this level, and he pretty much kept him out of the game.
Yeah, look, to be honest, we didn't set him specifically for that matchup. He just sort of takes who he thinks he needs to play on. So I thought he did a good job. But, early last year, he broke his hand early last year and, missed 5 or 6 weeks and then came back and was a pretty solid player for us, and he has been. So, I thought our effort was good and consistent. But our method probably can get better. Well, it can get better.
Some of your experienced heads, I guess we call Kate Stewart that now that he's got some footy under his belt. And, Nick Subin, Hayden Schleith and Brock in the middle when the game needed to be won, they all stood up when it probably counted.
I thought our midfield in the second half really were pretty good. As you mentioned, Dragovic, Subin, Schleith got his hands on it, Cade, Higgins. When the game was on the line, they were pretty good for us, and we found a way. So there was a few, I thought Donaldson lifted in the last quarter, so, we lost Main early, which put us under pressure as well. But, at the end of the year, they don't say, well, you had 4 ugly wins and 6 wins that look beautiful. They all look beautiful, so we'll take it and move on.
Some different guys up forward. I guess when we've seen Josh Collard before, he's been playing off half-back. He looked lively off half forward and probably swapping at times with Schleith in that role. And Zach Desan Miguel looks like he's capable of taking another step this year. And it's a new look for them because it has to be, but it looks like you've got some good options.
Yeah, look, I think we're more flexible. We've got more guys that sort of play in different positions. There's no secret we've lost some really experienced players, but towards the end they were sort of quite restricted in where they could play. So, they played their roles that they were playing really well. But we think we've got some guys that can learn, hopefully, in time to have real strong impact in those roles, but also give us a bit of flexibility.
What happened to your captain early on?
Look, I think he's just pulled over. He was a bit tight in the hamstring, and so early on, and then, which is always not a good sign if it gets tight early. And then the risk was if he went back on, he could really do it. So we pulled him out. So he's never done one before, so we just got to wait and see.
No Marlion Pickett either. Is he a chance for next week?
No, he broke his finger with about 2 minutes to go last week, so he'll miss a couple. It'll give some guys some opportunity.
home ground next week. Play Perth, who had a good win today. You're looking forward to getting on home ground again?
Yeah, always it's great to play at home. You know, it's where you train, and hopefully all our supporters get down there. And you know, I know our effort was good, so if we bring that effort, we'll be right in the mix again.
Thank you.
No worries.